जाने रहमत लाखों सलाम शम्ए बज़ में हिदायत।
He is the best role model for you. While we have Prophet Muhammad as a role model, as a best example, then we don't have to take any other role model, and we don't have to follow any other person. So in order to follow the role model, which is Prophet ﷺ, we need to learn about him first. Today, if you want to be like someone, and then you know why you want to be like him. So if you want to be like, Prophet ﷺ, then you should know about him as well. And people, I'm not talking about non-Muslim, even Muslim today, they don't know very much about Prophet ﷺ. They don't know very much about Islam as well. I'm not talking about the difficult question about Islam. Even you ask a very easy question about maybe Salah, about fasting or anything, people find struggle to answer it. Even today, some people, they're so away from deen that if they are asked to give an iqamah, they will feel shy to give iqamah. And if they are asked to say adhan, they will feel shy to say adhan. And when it comes to other worldly matters, they are in the front line. To know iqamah, to know adhan, these are the very basics about Islam. It is not only for an imam to learn about these basic things. It is a duty of every Muslim, every single Muslim. If you say the adhan, if you say iqamah, if you read salah, all these things are the life. This is the seerah of Prophet ﷺ. Today, if somebody keep beard, and people will say that you are trying like an imam, you are becoming a Maulvi Sahib. You are forgetting that it is not. It is the sunnah of Prophet ﷺ. So we have to learn about the seerah and about the life of Prophet ﷺ. Very briefly, today you see Islam in front of us. And Islam has developed so much. It has changed so much. This is not the very Islam people used to see at the very early ages, especially at the time of Prophet ﷺ. Time was very, very different. We talk about the before the birth of Rasulullah ﷺ. You see people are living in a culture, in a tradition which are illiterate, we would say. The time of Jahiliyyah, Tariq says, the history says, it was a time of Jahiliyyah, time of ignorance. People were living. And how they were ignorant, and I'll give a few examples, then you understand that people were so ignorant and they were living in that time. For example, if someone's wife died, the son would marry his own mother. If father dies, the son would marry his mother. So ignorant. Today when we hear, we say, Astaghfar, it is so bad. But these things used to happen at the time of, before the arrival of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as far as the woman, if a woman had her monthly periods, the people, the husband and the people from the family, they would not want to see her. They would used to lock her in one room until she gets pure. Until she gets pure. And that don't happen today anymore. Not only that, if husband used to die, a woman, she was used to blame. She said it's her fault. Because she was unlucky, and because of her nahusat, her husband died. And sometime a woman, she was asked to take her life. because her husband died, so she has no right to live anymore. So these things was happening before the arrival of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As far as the daughters are concerned, we often hear the people used to hate daughters. Today, if a girl is born in the house, a Muslim, who is a true Muslim, you will be very happy. He said, a rahmah, a mercy came in my house. But 1500 years ago, it was totally different. If the girl was born, the husband would divorce the wife, or she was told off, or she was asked to kill the child, or to bury her alive. Where the girls had no status whatsoever. They were treated worse than animals. And it was happening on this earth. So there was need for a change. There was need for a change. And the change was going to come only through someone who was perfect in his character, perfect in his seerah. And once Prophet ﷺ also mentioned the authentic hadith, and a Sahabi, he come to Rasulullah ﷺ and draw this picture in your mind. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, please ask Allah to forgive me. And the Prophet of Allah said, you should ask Allah and Allah will forgive you. He said, no, my sin is very big. My sin is very huge. The Prophet said, if your sin is bigger than earth? He said, yes. And he said, if your sin is bigger than sky? And he said, yes, it is bigger. And he said a few other things. And he said, is your sin is bigger than the mercy and the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He said, no, my sin cannot be bigger. Nothing can be greater, nothing can be bigger than the rahmah and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet of Allah said, if your sin is not bigger than mercy of Allah, you should ask Allah to forgive you. And the Prophet of Allah said, tell me, what have you done? First he was asked to repent and go away. But he said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I was a businessman. When I left my house, my wife, she was pregnant. And she was about to give birth to a child. And I advised her before I left. I said to my wife that if you give birth to a daughter, you must just kill her. And don't tell anybody. Because it would regard as an embarrassment, a shame. And I tell you, even today, and correct me if I'm wrong, Wallah, even today, if a boy is born in the house, the people get excited. If a girl is born, the people are not excited as much as for the boys. And if you ask, even today, if you ask a woman, what you want to have, she said, I prefer to have a boy. But look at that, when these boys grows up, they don't give more time to their parents than the girls. The daughters, they go to someone's house, they got children, they look after the children, look after her husband, take care of her house, and after all that, they still give time to their parents. And boys don't give that much. Boys give, but not that much. But still, people prefer to have boys than the daughters. In fact, daughters are good. They are mercy and rahmah of Allah. And the Prophet said, tell me, what have you done? And he said, I said to my wife, that once you give birth, if it's a girl, just kill her and don't tell anybody. Because it will bring embarrassment to us. And he left. And people would travel months after months. It was not used to any aeroplanes or car that we use nowadays. So while he was on a trip, she gave birth. And she gave birth to a daughter, to a girl. But she said, and she was very scared, very nervous. She was living in a life of fear. That if my husband comes to know that I have given birth to a girl, you're either going to kill me or you're either going to kill this girl. But after all, she was mother, and she did not want to hurt the child. So she passed on the child next door. And she asked them to look after her. Her husband comes and he asked her, did you give birth? He said, yes, I gave birth, and I gave birth to a girl, and I killed her. And he never said, how you killed her, where you buried, nothing like that. He said, okay, thank you. You done a great job. But while husband was in the house, because he come after a couple of months and years, and he saw a girl coming in his house almost every day, and she was very pretty, very beautiful, small girl. And he started liking her, started playing with her. And after when some time passed, the mother realized, now the father got a great love for her child. It is time for me to open the secret, to disclose the secret to her father, to say that she is not the daughter of someone, but she is your own daughter. And one day her husband was very happy and playing with her. And she said, do you know who she is? He said, she's a girl from next door. He said, no, she's not from next door. She's your own daughter. And suddenly the mood changed. His life changed. His mind changed. Smile gone. And he ignored it. And one day he asked his wife, please, I'm taking the child to somewhere. And he took her with the spade so he can dig something. He took her in jungle. It's very careful, it's very, very short. But these things used to happen on this earth. And why Allah used to watch these things? Why people used to watch these things? And he took her in the jungle and he started digging. With what intention? To bury her. What was her fault? Not because she's ugly, not because she's skinny. Her fault is she is a girl. It used to be an embarrassment for a family to give birth to a girl. And he started digging. And while he was digging, when the mud and sand would go on his clothes, the daughter would come and she cleaned her father's clothes. Father is dirty. She cleaning. But she not realizing her father is digging that hole for her. And when he fully digged, and he asked her to lie down. And she lied down. And she was smiling. If she asked the child, lie down, child will lie down in front of you. And child will smile. You know why? Because a child trusts you. Child trusts you more than anyone. If you're by the stairs, or if you got a child in your hand, you can practice this. You throw a child up in the air. When we're going up, he's smiling. When he's coming down, he's smiling. Why? Because he knows there's someone down there who will catch me. And he will never leave me. If you throw a big person, he will go shivering up. Coming down, he will be shivering. He's not sure if somebody's going to catch him or not. But the child, he will say, child don't have any knowledge, he got no sense. But he got so much trust in her parents, in his parents. He said, no, my parents will not drop me, no matter what happens. And he asked her to lie down. When she lied down, and she's smiling, and he starts throwing sand on her feet, and then her leg. She's still smiling, thinking her father playing with her, having good time. But suddenly he starts throwing the sand and mud on her face. And then she started getting scared. And when he fully covered her face, he was fully covered her face, then she said, my father, I can't breathe. Picture this scene in your head. A girl who was little, she is being buried alive, and her fault that she is just a girl. And he covered her face, and he left her like that. Allahu Akbar. The Prophet ﷺ, while he was listening, he cried. Why he cried? Because Allah says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. He came as a mercy for this ummah. He said, go away from here. Ask Allah to forgive you, but just go away from it. Even the Prophet was not able to bear the story that he was picturing in the front of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. So these things used to happen, and it used to happen on the often basis. Allahu Akbar. And when the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam comes, and he said to people, no, your daughters, they are not burden on you. They are not a shame on you. And then he had his own daughter, Bibi Fatima radiallahu ta'ala. And what he said about her? He said, Fatima, she is a part of my life, part of my body. Allah. What we would used to say? The girls are embarrassment. They are filth. They are unlucky. But the Prophet ﷺ said that my daughter Fatima, she is part of my body. I mean, he loved her so much. I mean, if somebody respect her, mean he or she respected Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If somebody harmed her or hurt her or disrespect her, mean he or she disrespected and harmed and hurt Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These things used to happen. And today we have wars. People are fighting. And those battles, nowadays we fight for 2 months, 3 months, 2 years, 3 years. People had fight World War I for some years, World War II for some years. But the battles before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would go for hundreds of years. And they would fight over small things. They would fight over the culture and the tradition. And they would fight for their respect and for their honor. And those fights used to go on and for hundreds and hundreds of years. And these things used to happen before Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Allahu Akbar. When Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, when he arrived, and when you see the early days of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, when he saw people in front of him, he saw people that drinking alcohol, and he saw people disrespecting women in front of him, and he saw people have no respect for girls in front of him, and he saw people have no respect for parents. The people would throw their parents away when they were old. So he saw all those things. So Allah wanted to bring change in the society. So Allah brought that change through Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. And he came with guidance. Allah told Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he came as a prophet. Today people say that Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam became prophet at the age of 40. No. Remember that the prophets, they are prophet from birth. An ordinary person cannot be a prophet. Only chosen and selected people are prophet. Yes, at the age of 40, Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam declared his prophethood. Some people said he was prophet. He became prophet at the age of 40. No, he was born as a prophet. But he declared his prophet at the age of 40. And he corrected the society. And he guided people in every step. And the change did not come just like that. Change did not come. Today, at that time, if somebody used to say, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, people used to hate him. People used to harm him and they want to kill him. And they draw the picture of Thuwayba radiallahu ta'ala anha. The first Sahabiya. You know what Sahabiya means? One is called Sahabi, one is Sahabiya. Sahabi or Sahabiya, a person, the one who saw Rasulullah alayhi wa sallam with Iman, and he or she died with Iman. If somebody just saw Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam without an Iman, he cannot be a Sahabi. Abu Jahl, he saw Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We can't call him, he was Sahabi. Abu Lahab, he was a great enemy of Islam, a great enemy of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He saw Prophet almost every day, but he's not a Sahabi. Sahabi is the one who saw Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with Iman, with Islam. Not only that, and he or she died with Iman and Islam as well. He or she is Sahabiya. And Thuwayba radiallahu ta'ala anha, what was her fault? She became Muslim, and they asked her to leave Islam. And the Muslim was in minorities, and the kuffar, the non-Muslim majority. They used to oppress Muslims to leave Islam. They say it's a new thing. You are teaching people against our idols. There used to be 313 idols. 313 idols. And say everything is against our God, our statues, our idols. What about, and how they punished her? Just listen. You'll be shocked. Nobody can punish a human being like that. and she was tied up from her right hand and left hand and the right leg and the left leg. And her rope was tied with the horses on the four sides. And there was a rider sitting on the horses. And they were asked to run in a different direction. One ran on that side, one ran on that side, on this side, this side. Her leg comes from that side, one leg is going there, one leg is going there, one arm is going there, one arm is going this side at the same time. What was her fault? Because she said, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Wallah, today we have Islam. Allah, we have Islam. We got Islam by birth nowadays. Today we are proud to say that we are Muslim. You read namaz and nobody says anything to you. You walk outside with Islamic dress, with the hat on, you got a beard on, nobody says anything to you. Thing was not like that. The people used to, wherever see a Muslim, they used to curse and they used to swear at them. They call our Prophet ﷺ that you are mad, you are crazy, you are a majnoon person. Bilal radiallahu ta'ala story is in front of you. You know what Bilal? The first muazzin. And he was a black person. But he was very close to Prophet ﷺ. Islam does not go with colors or with the body or with the image. Prophet ﷺ said, Inna akramakum indallahi atkakum. The most respectful one and the most honorable one in the eye of Allah is the one who fear Allah the most. Because Allah does not judge you through your skin colors or through your body or through your clothes. You don't become a good Muslim by wearing a nice dress. But you become a good Muslim by having a good heart. And when he accepted Islam, what they have done to him, and you must know the status of Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The one day Prophet sallallahu ta'ala said to Bilal, come here. He said, Bilal radiallahu anhu, he said, what do you do? Because I saw in my dream that you was walking front of me in Jannah. Allah, you were walking front of me in Jannah. And he was walking front of Prophet ﷺ as a slave of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I don't do anything. But when I come in the masjid, whenever I make wuzu, I come in the masjid and I perform 2 rakat nafil. I perform 2 rakat nafil. And he said, yes, because of that, he was walking in front of me in Jannah. Subhanallah. This was the status of Bilal radiallahu ta'ala. When he became Muslim, what people have done to him? They used to drag him on the hot sand. Hot sand. But what he used to say in return, La ilaha illallah. There is no Allah, there is no God but Allah. They would used to put stone on his chest. Only one thing in reply, La ilaha illallah. There is no God but Allah. Today somebody drag us on the road. He said, give up your religion. Wallah, they will be not 5, 10. They will be in thousands. 1,000 people will give up their religion. Today, nowadays, people can't take hardship. You see, people come in the masjid, one day you find the water is cold, everybody is complaining, why the water is cold? Why the water is cold? At that time, people used to take bath with cold water in the morning, and they never complain. We are very soft Muslim, very sensitive Muslim today. And I used to give one example. Wallah, may Allah forbid from that time, if this government makes this announcement, that either you hand over your nationality or either you leave Islam. Either you hand over your nationality or leave Islam. There will be so many people, they will leave the religion and they will keep their nationality with them. Because for some people, nationality is more important than the Iman. People struggle so much. You don't know people, they sold their religion before they coming here. People turn Qadiani, they become Mirzai in order to get into this country. People give up their faith over small thing, small portion of risk. People like Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, they struggle and they strive for what? To defend and to protect the religion of Islam. And the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, when he went to Taif, a city in Medina, what people welcomed him? People had stone in their hands. And there were small children, they were asked to throw stone at Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. A dog was left on Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. He got injured, he was bleeding. Why? He was calling people towards Allah. His people, what you're practicing is wrong. Come towards one Allah. Don't worship hundreds of gods. Just worship only one God. These your idols will not benefit you. They will not harm you. Come towards Allah, the one who can harm you and the one who can benefit you, the one who is alive and who never sleep. Like dawah, like Ibrahim alayhi salam. Subhanallah. He used to say, people, give up your idols. Stop worshipping your idols. People never give up. One day everybody went out. They went out on their festival, and Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said nobody in town. He come with a big axe, kulahari, and he broke all the idols. And he left the axe on the big idol. The big one. The head of all the idols they got. When people come, they saw their idols were broken. And they got angry. Somebody said, this is one young boy who always speak against our idols, statues. He must have done this job. And they called him. He said, did you do this? He said, why don't you ask your idol, the big one? Ask him who done this. And the people say, you know that, they can't speak. And then Ibrahim Islam said, this is what I'm trying to tell you. They can't speak. They can't listen to you. They can't benefit you. They can't harm you. Why are you worshipping them? Allah Akbar. They said, no, throw him in burning fire. And they throw him in the burning fire. And Allah Ta'ala turned the fire to coolness, the fire of coolness. Allah Ta'ala protected him and safeguarded his Prophet. And the Prophet was carrying on the same agenda of Ibrahim alayhi salam, is to call people towards Allah and ask people to give up worshipping this idol and statues. And when he was asked, Ya Rasulullah, why don't you curse these people? Why don't you make bad dua, bad dua against these people? He said, no, Allah Ta'ala sent me as a mercy. And today these people, they don't know me, but the coming generation, they will know me and they will believe in Allah and they will believe in me. And today we see that today. After only some time, their children turn to Islam, they revert to Islam, and they accept Islam, and they accept Allah as the creator, and the Prophet ﷺ as the messenger of Allah. My dear brother Islam, this was a small picture of Islam. Wallah, people struggle so much. Even at that time, the non-Muslim would not sell any of their stuff to Muslims. They wouldn't live. When the Muslim migrated from Mecca to Medina, the non-Muslims took over their properties, their businesses, their everything. And they gave up everything for what? For Islam. Because they had true value about Islam. So also we should give importance to Islam. We should give importance to religion. And we must learn more and more about the seerah and about the life of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Wallah, people don't know about Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Today people who make propaganda about Islam and about Prophet sallallahu ta'ala sallam, wallah, these people have no idea. They have no idea who was Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. He was that person at his time, the non-Muslim, they would call Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the truthful one. Not a Muslim used to say that he's honest. No. Non-Muslim used to say that Muhammad, he is the honest one. Muhammad, he is the most truthful one. And they had so much trust in Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they used to leave their valuable stuff, their money and their gold and their silver to Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, please look after this. Allahu Akbar. They used to hate his religion, but they used to trust him. Trust him. They used to say, he is the most truthful one. He is a Sadiq, he is Amin. Allahu Akbar. He was kuffar. Today what people say about Islam and about Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they don't know Islam. They are judging Islam through our character, through our silly actions. Islam should be judged through Quran. Islam should be judged through Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It should be judged through Allah, and then you will come to know how beautiful and how great this religion is. So learn about the seerah of sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Talk about sallallahu ta'ala sallam. Today you have children sitting here. People love football, they love game. If you ask them, tell me the names of the 4 Sahaba, who was Khalifa after Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, you see people don't know that. If you ask our children, even ask our elders, tell me something about the first Khalifa, about second Khalifa, how long they ruled, the third Khalifa, how long he ruled, the fourth Khalifa, how long he ruled, people don't know that. People don't study that. If you ask children, tell me the names of the Liverpool players, the Man U players, wallah, our children, they will give you a name. Like that. You said, give me the name of 10 Sahaba Ikram, they don't know it. Give me the 10 name of the Prophet, the prophets of Allah, 10 names, they won't give it. The names of the daughters of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the sons of Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam, who they got married, where they are married, people don't know anything about it. What was more important, we left it. What was extra, we have taken it, and we have given more priority to these things. Today you ask my children, what you want to be? Allah, I have spoken to so many children, say, I want to become a footballer. I want to become this. Why? It's big money. It's big money in there. It's all about money now. Today our children always think about money. Allahu Akbar. I went to one house and I said to one child, what you want to be? He said, I want to be a dentist. I said, why you want to be a dentist? He said, big money in there. There's a big money in dentist. I said, why can't you turn your intention other way around? You say, my job is to serve people, is to take people out of pain. The money will come itself. But our intentions are not right today. Our intention is not serving the community, not serving this ummah, but is to earn more and more mal, and to earn more and more money. Wallah, today understand this. The money is our need. Money is not, and it should not be the purpose and goal of our life today. And we have taken this money as the goal of our life. We say money is the purpose of life. And for money today, people can do anything. They will not see whether it's halal or haram, they will just do it. Like Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam said, 1500 years ago he said people, a time will come where a person will earn and he will not bother whether his earning is lawful or whether his earning is unlawful. He will not be worried whether his earning is haram or whether his earning is halal. They won't care. Today you see people that don't care. Yeah, why? Because people don't have priority. They don't give religion importance. People have forgotten the purpose of their life, the goal of their life. People think that they will live here forever. We build so many things like we're going to live forever. A poet says, what he said? He says, Saman so baraska pal ki khabar. The way we earn, the way we collect and gather, like we're going to live here forever. And we don't know about our second. We don't even know about our next breath. You don't know when you go outside whether something will happen to you or not. You don't know. We don't know. I don't know what will happen to us tomorrow. We don't know anything. So mighty brother, let me conclude by saying, Wallah, you should be very grateful to Allah. If somebody asks you, what is the great mercy, the favor of Allah you got, you said, the greatest favor I got, that I am a Muslim. I got Iman. And I'm proud to be a Muslim. I'm proud to be a Muslim. When you go out there, somebody says to you, what's your name? You should say, my name is this. You should say your full Muslim name. You should not be scared to give your Muslim name. Why you are scared for? Why you feel shy for? Today our average child going to school got a nickname. Someone's name is Muhammad, he say, call me Mo. Call me Mojo. Why? So people don't know that I'm a Muslim. Why are you embarrassed? So we are the follower of a true religion. Why we feel shy? If somebody says, you're Muslim, I am a Muslim. Yes. If you ask a child outside, he says, are you Christian? Yes, I'm a Christian. He said, the way people, we look down like we are the follower of a wrong religion. No, we are the follower of the right religion. And you have to get this in your head. And the way you practice, the way you're dress-wise, you should show people that you're Muslim. You should have beard, Sunnah sallallahu ta'ala wasallam, appropriate dress. Today you see, you go outside, sometimes, wallah, not me, you have seen yourself, a brother, somebody's coming, a bad person coming, you don't know whether he's a Muslim or not. He got no hat over his head, he got no beard. If you know how to judge him. It used to be a time that you could judge a Muslim from very far place. He said, he's a Muslim coming. He got a beard, he got a hat, he got a Sunnah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. One day a child came to the masjid and I said to him, I said, where's your salwar kameez? He said, funny bit, but he said a bitter bit as well. I said, where's your salwar kameez? He said, I can't wear salwar kameez because if I wear salwar kameez, the police are going to arrest me. I said, why police going to arrest you? He said, for wearing salwar kameez. I said, why is our Islamic dress? You should wear it. Why we embarrassed to tell people that we are Muslim? Why we embarrassed to practice Islam? If we have to pray salah in the office or in the park, we feel embarrassed. Why feel embarrassed? Wallah, people have given sacrifices. You don't have to give any more sacrifice. Today Islam is not asking you to go and kill people out there. No. Say you should practice Islam. Wallah, even by your dress code, by your character, you can, this is your dawah. You can bring other people towards Islam. Towards Islam. Today people, our Muslim character has gone so bad, that people today, a Muslim is scared of another Muslim. And a Muslim got more trust on non-Muslim today. It is bitter, but it is true today. And I give one example, small example. If you want to buy a car, listen very carefully. If you want to buy a car, and if you know this car is being, the owner of the car is a Muslim, wallah, you will think a few times before you buy it. You will think a few times. Because you might think he might cheat, he might fraud, he might be hiding something from you. But as soon as you know the owner of the car is a non-Muslim, is a white person, you will not hesitate and you will go and buy a car like that. And the Prophet ﷺ said in one of the hadiths, the one of the sign of Qiyamah, the Muslim will be more reluctant, they will be more towards non-Muslim. Why? Because Muslim will have more faith on non-Muslim. Today, if people are very easy to do business with non-Muslim today, but they're scared to do business with the Muslim today. Why Muslim? Because there's so many wrong things. They have lost their image. They have lost their trust. They're no more truthful again. They are not honest anymore. So my dear Islam, remember that Islam, wallah, Islam is not for imams. Islam is for all of us. And we should not practice Islam when we're in the masjid. We are Muslim everywhere. You are Muslim on the road. You are Muslim in the house. You are Muslim in the park. You are Muslim in the workplace. You are Muslim everywhere. You cannot hide from Islam. You are Muslim everywhere. And you should be proud that you are Muslim. And you should practice Islam with happiness. Accept Islam with happiness. If somebody says to you, are you a Muslim? Yes, I am a Muslim. If you have a Muslim name, you should give your Muslim name out. You shouldn't be scared of that. Because you are the follower of a true religion. What Quran says, Inna deena inda Allah Islam. The chosen religion in the eye of Allah is Islam. وَمَنْ يَبْتَغْ غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. And the one who follow any other religion beside Islam, that it will never be accepted by Allah. And he will be amongst the losers in next life. So we ask Allah Ta'ala, may Allah Ta'ala enable us to become a good Muslim. A good practicing Muslim. We should not be a Muslim just by name. We should show practically that we are Muslim. And Islam should be inside of us. Islam should be outside of us. As we ask Allah, may Allah Ta'ala enable us to understand and to learn more and more about deen and about the seerah and the life of Rasulullah Ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. And very briefly, those brothers who for Itekaf.
जाने रहमत लाखों सलाम शम्ए बज़ में हिदायत